Hello, culturally responsive teachers. My name is Amber Garrett. Welcome to my classroom. Today, I want to talk to you about student diversity and a learning strategy used to address diversity in the mathematics classroom called the number talk. First, let's take a look at diversity. The students in your classroom represent a number of cultural influences: their ethnic or racial identity, the locations they have lived in and experienced, social media, or their family and friends. Their brains are the product of diverse experiences. I think that the mathematics classroom is one of the most difficult places to effectively respond to student diversity. As a teacher, it is important to recognize that your students are unique, and the way that you think through a mathematical problem may not match the way that your students think. Why? Because math is not a neutral subject. By teaching only in the way that we have been taught in the past, or in the way that a textbook prescribes, we as Canadian teachers are promoting a Eurocentric version of mathematics that is inaccessible to many students. In my classroom, I want students to know that it's okay to think differently than their peers or teachers. Now, let's take a look at how teachers can use number talks to promote diverse thinking. A number talk is a thinking-only exercise where students get to showcase the mathematical processes that make the most sense for them individually. Students put away their pencils and paper, and all of the work for a number talk is completed in the student's head. Typically, a number talk has three main steps: thinking about the problem, listening or sharing, and defending the solution. First, the teacher writes down a problem horizontally on the board so that all students can see it. It is important that the problem is written down horizontally. Writing a problem down vertically implies that we want students to focus on place values to solve a problem, but that only promotes a particular way of thinking, and the number talk is intended to celebrate all ways of thinking. During this first phase of the number talk, students silently complete their computation in their head. Once they have solved the problem, the students let the teacher know by giving a silent thumbs up. The second step in the number talk is listening and sharing. Once all students have given the teacher the thumbs up symbol, the teacher asks a few students to share their answers. All answers are accepted, whether right or wrong, with no judgment. For each answer, the teacher can ask the class to give a thumbs up if they came up with the same solution. So why don't we correct the students who do not supply the right answer? Correcting student errors forces the student to move at the pace of the teacher. What we should promote as teachers is moving at the pace of the students. This means providing ample time for a student to recognize their own mistake and think through correcting their errors. By slowing down, we reinforce that the classroom is a safe place for a student to think on their own terms and take control of their learning. The third step in the number talk is to explain or defend a solution. The teacher will call on a student to explain what thinking process they used to come up with a particular answer. The teacher will then call on students to share different thinking processes that led to the same conclusion. In the end, the class is able to see that there are many ways to approach a question and still come up with the correct solution. So why should you complete a number talk in your classroom? A number talk celebrates student diversity in two important ways. Students are first able to show and receive positive feedback on how their unique brain works. And secondly, students are able to learn new methods from their peers that might help in future problems. Right now, number talks are being used in secondary classrooms to improve mental mathematics and estimation skills, one of the critical mathematical processes identified in the Alberta Program of Studies. In order to give students the mental skills to complete number talks at the secondary level, it is suggested that teachers conduct number talks every day, starting with elementary level math and slowly working towards their grade level. Now, would you like to try a number talk? Here's a question to ponder. What is 23 multiplied by 15? Remember, you shouldn't be using pencils or paper. All of the computation takes place in your head. You can pause this video while you think of a solution. When the same question was asked to a class of pre-service elementary school teachers, they came up with 6 unique methods to solve the problem. Did you use one of these methods, or was your method different? This is a great example of how different brains in the same classroom process mathematics problems in unique ways. Thank you for taking the time to learn about number talks. I hope that you try out a number talk in your classroom and celebrate the many different brains and thinking processes that your students bring with them every day.
Created using Powtoon.